Hi guys, and welcome to this video all about building strength. For today's class, we're going to be focusing on our arms and our shoulders. Because we're isolating this area, even though it's a short class, it can feel really intense at times, so please pace yourself. I will be offering lots of different modifications depending on where you're at, so ways to make it easier or slightly harder. And let's go ahead and begin. Join me on your mats, and we're just going to bring our hands onto our shoulders and start to create little circles. So taking our elbows up, back, down, and around. So really nice big circles here. Pressing into the feet, keeping the core nice and engaged. Let's do just a couple more like this. And then release the arms, but keep the circles going. So nice, big circles. I don't know about you guys, but even just those few, I can already feel the slight burn. Couple more. And just give yourself a little shake, releasing any tension. Hands back onto the shoulders. And this time we're going to take the elbows back, up, forward, and down. Back, up, forward, and down. So once again, being mindful of those nice big circles. Feet hip distance to help us with our stability, with our balance. A couple more here. And then releasing the arms, but keeping the circles going. Probably already starting to feel a bit of burn. And we've only just begun. Let's do a couple more. And shake it out. Coming onto your mats, let's take a seat on our shins. And bring your arms out long, palms facing up towards the sky. And we're just going to take the palms and face them down, and then palms up. Palms down and up. Keep going, moving at your own pace. Spine is nice and long. Knitting the ribs together, navel to spine, core nice and engaged. Helps you think about something other than your arms. We keep going here. Let's go for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Create fists with your hands. We're going to rotate the right shoulder forward as we take the left shoulder back, and then go the other way. So right shoulder forward, left shoulder back, internal, external rotation. Keep going. Let's do 4, 3, it's like wringing out the arms, 2, 1. Keep the arms out to the sides, bring both palms up towards the ceiling, and then elbows in towards your waist, and arms long. Elbows in, arms long. You've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And shake it out. Well done, guys. Let's take one arm overhead, bend through the elbow, take your left hand behind you. If you can, we're gonna clasp our fingers, drawing that right elbow back, left elbow down towards the ground, spine nice and long, but keep hugging the ribs and the belly in. Get a nice stretch through your right tricep. And then if you want, taking a little lean over towards the left-hand side. Coming back to center, we release and we do the other side. So left arm up, we bend through the elbow, right hand behind you. You can even grab onto your shirt if you can't clasp your fingers. And then if you'd like to, we can take a little side stretch. The head pushing into that left arm as the elbow lifts up towards the ceiling. So you should be feeling the stretch in the back of that left arm. And then coming back to center. Take a tabletop position from here. If you were sitting on your ankles and they were uncomfortable, you can bend. You can flex your feet, maybe give them a little pat, untuck, give them a little pat. Can always feel a little bit uncomfortable. Tabletop position, focusing on shoulder rotation. So really trying to isolate that shoulder movement. So trying to keep our hips exactly where they are, a nice flat back here. We're going to protract. So you're separating your shoulder blades, rounding through the upper back. Take the shoulders towards the ears. Drop the shoulders, so scapula towards one another. Take the shoulders back and around. So we're doing little circles with our shoulders. So protraction, elevation, the opposite of protraction, I'm losing the word here, and depression. So we round out through the back, bring the shoulders to the ears, drop the chest, shoulder blades towards one another, and we keep going. So it's quite natural, even as I look at myself here, to move with the pelvis. But again, see if you can isolate it and just move the shoulders. Protraction, retraction. I knew I'd get there eventually. Elevation, depression. So trying to keep the arms straight. It's quite natural to want to bend through the elbows as you move through this. But again, trying to really isolate the movements to the shoulders. And then just reverse what you're doing. So going in the other direction. Breathing through the movements here. It's almost like trying to pat your head and rub your belly at the same time. One more breath. And then take a nice little child's pose. So hips to heels, arms long, forehead to the ground. One more breath where you are. And then slowly coming back into that tabletop position. Now here's where you have several options for this next exercise. We're going to tuck our toes under in our tabletop position. And we're going to be taking some push-ups from here. Now the harder option is to hover the knees off of the ground as you do these. I am going to keep my knees on the floor because I'm still building back a lot of my upper body strength. And all we're going to do from here is external rotation of the shoulders, so getting the elbows to point backwards. Shift the weight forward, bend the elbows, start to lower the head down towards the ground, and lift yourself back up. We've got 9. Lift back up. 8. And up. 7. And up. 6. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back. Sit on your shins. Take your hands behind your back. Interlace the fingers and draw the shoulders back. Palms towards, so see if you can get the palms to touch one another. Open into the heart, and we're just going to start to come down towards the ground. Release your forehead, roll onto the crown of the head, and take your arms up and over as you lift your hips. So coming into a rabbit pose here, hips stacking over knees, getting a nice stretch. One more breath as you are. And then slowly bringing the hips back down, releasing the arms, and we sit ourselves up. Coming into a reverse tabletop this time. Hands behind you, fingers pointing towards your feet. We're going to lift the hips up. And from our reverse tabletop, we're going to bend the elbows down, lower the hips, and lift back up. We've got 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo, feel the burn. Come to lie down on your bellies. We're almost done, guys. One hand over the other, forehead onto your hands. I'm going to try to do this without crushing my mic. From here, you're going to lift the upper body, bring your elbows towards your waist, hands go long, bring the hands back, and then hands under your forehead, release to the ground. So we lift the head and the arms up, elbows to waist, hands towards feet, bring the hands back, underneath the forehead, and lower. Keep going. We lift, elbows in, arms long, bring them back, hands under forehead, we lower, lift, elbows long, bring it back, hands under head, lower. We keep going for another 5. Lower, 4, and lower, 3, last 2, one, and lower. Well done, guys. Bring your right hand out to the side, left hand by your chest, bend into your left foot, drop the head and the right shoulder, and roll that left foot back. So you give yourself a nice little stretch in the front of that right arm. And then slowly coming back, we do the other side. Cactus the left arm, right hand on the inside, so next to your right chest. Bend your right foot behind you. Well done, guys. One more breath here. Coming back, we're going to lift ourselves back into that tabletop position. One more round of push-ups. This time, take your hands outside of your mat. Try to keep the hands in line with your shoulders. Tuck the toes. Option again, if you really want to challenge yourself, to hover the knees. Otherwise, knees are down, and we bend the elbows out to the side, and we lower and lift. You got 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift yourself up. Come to sit back on your heels. Right shoulder, right arm across the body. Left hand grabbing to the outside of that right arm. Turn your head towards the right hand side as you pull that right arm towards the left. Release the right arm, we change sides. Turn to face the left. Come back to center. Very last exercise. Legs go long. Option to bend the knees if legs long is not an option for you. Hands behind you, fingers pointing forward. Toes are pointed, heels can be slightly apart. And we're going to lift the hips and lower them down. Barely touching the ground, we lift back up and lower. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Give the arms a little shake. Shake the body out. That's the beauty of such short classes, guys. That is it for our shoulders today. I hope you enjoyed the class, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.